Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Suzerain. Last time we were here in our glorious, glorious Swordland, we had some highway works started. We gave it to the public company because, of course, we did. Why would we hire a private company when the state already has a company to do that? And we did some not so not so trustworthy dealings with a media magnate. It is what it is. I want to keep my head attached to my body for as long as possible. I would also like to not be Jeremy Corbyn and lose control just because the media doesn't like me. So, what's in the news right now? Yep, the guy that got shot, the new highway, and giving me more power. And criticizing the highway project. People want more reforms. Yes, we also want to do that. People are gonna march in solidarity with the Workers' Party. And the fascists are targeting minorities. As they often do, the fucks. Okay, let's see what we can do. Economic relief plan. That sounds important. The systems of the National Business Council and the Central Bank put forward a countrywide relief plan to mitigate the economic hardships that are being felt. Yeah, money to the people. The people will then spend that money in the businesses, which will then pay taxes, which will then give us more money. Stimulus. Stimulus always better than bailouts. And if for people who say that, oh, the stimulus caused the inflation is around 10%, which is pretty high, and a lot of companies are, and the biggest companies are getting record profits of 40%. So maybe it's not just the stimulus that's causing the inflation, Maybe it's the record profits might have something to do with it. Okay, now we need to go to the funeral of the guy that got shot. Of course we're gonna attend. It's not like we can't just not go. We were there. Thank you, Serge. I'll hold my own umbrella. Just wanted to inform you the perimeter is clear, secure completely. So, you did your job today, did you? This is a bit rubbing it in. This is rubbing it in a little bit too much. Better be right for your sake. No, let's just say good work. Anything happens to Anton, you'll have to answer to the First Lady. Yep, does not seem like something that he would want to do. Being inconsiderate. I don't think any of us want that. I don't think any of us want that. Lower your voice, like, don't laugh at a funeral, mate. Have a small problem. Of course, a few, 5 to be exact, Red Youth members are here to attend the funeral, let them in. Let them in. Yes, let the fucking communists in. If it was the other way around, I'd keep the fascists out. Today we are mourning Bernard Circus, a father, a husband, and a loyal servant of this country. He'll confess to his degree, no, regardless of his ideology. He was a true comrade and he fought for what he believed in, his ideal vision of Swordland in every step of his life. Promise that events will never happen again. Dream of a unified Swordland. Interpret this attack as an attack against Swordland by extension against me personally. Blood of Bernard will not remain on the sacred ground of Swordland. Well, what do we want to do here? Dream of unified Swordland. I'm kind of torn between these two. Make sure this will never happen again. Let's all mourn the passing of Bernard Circus. Hatred begets hatred. The tears of the family he left behind have a price needs to be paid. I will not stop until it's paid in full. Yes, let us antagonize the fascists. Let's promise to avenge him. I would now like to recite one of the poems he left us. Our only strength is the will to survive. Towards the sun, those who died fighting, they're not buried in the sun. No need to mourn, there is a raid to the sun. Huh. Okay, which quote do we want to use? Well, let's antagonize the this is gonna come back and bite me in the ass, but let's antagonize the fascists some more. Moment of silence. Hey, people started clapping. They liked my speech. As we bid farewell to Bernard, I want to close with the words every sword lives by. Yeah, let's milk this for all the political benefit we can. It's pretty much disrespectful, but we are carrying on the fight. We want to be communists. Okay, it was a good speech. Thank you, Peter. I thought so. Got to work to do. Okay, what else do we gotta do? Something wrong with the highway? Ooh, no. It's diplomatic stuff. May I sit down, Mr. President? Formalities aside, please take a seat. So we know him from before. He used to be our professor. Look at you, the 4th president of Swordland. Still remember the first day you took my class. Countless late nights at the ministry to finalize was an experience for sure. We signed our best trade deal yet with a good slew of trade advantages over Anolia, once somewhat unfair in my point of view. Somehow the inhospitable ebb and flow of life has led us here. It was meant to be. It's our opportunity to shape the future, and we will do precisely that. Would you like some tea? Still remember how much I like tea? How's your wife? How's your health? Haven't had any big complications? Had a heart attack? Are you gonna die on me? Health complications aren't a hindrance to my work, of course, but thanks for asking. How's the Rain family? Slowly starting to get used to the routine. We started getting used to it. Yeah, Frank doesn't really like being in the spotlight. As time passes, I realize that more family is the most important thing in life. We must take care of them. How was your travel to Lachaven? A little bumpy due to turbulence. I arrived via military cargo plane that landed in Lachaven International. I took the train, was a little slow, but I still recommend it for the beautiful landscape. I also have the possibility to work on a couple of things during the ride. See, Lucian has the right idea. Train good. I realize I am saying train good, car bad, when I specifically selected to build the highway instead of the train track. But I selected the highway because it was to an underserved location, and to help our people. That there's an exception to train good, car bad. Start providing a brief overview of our current status with our neighbors. What we'd like to start with. Let's hear about Agnolia. Our brotherly nation to the northeast, Agnolia, they are still diplomatically non-aligned and probably has one of the most democratic systems between our neighbors. Economic stagnation is a worry for them. Their primary issue is their heavy reliance on foreign investment from us. Most friendly neighbor, they have been allies for the longest time. This fact needs to be part of the equation. Unsurprisingly, the Anatolian Prime Minister is expecting better cooperation through a new, fairer trade deal with us. It's one of his electoral mandates. Sure, they've been friends. Let's be friends. Sounds beneficial to all sides. Both sides could gain for it, but Agnolia has more to win. They want to protect our weaker industries, which we are profiting from selling our goods to. Yeah, but if we work together, it's better, right? Instead of screwing them off. Additionally, the latest numbers indicate that currently 1 million Agno-Sorla citizens live in the Angland region of Sorland, which creates a link between foreign policy and our internal affairs. These people have suffered socioeconomically, which led them to crime and other problems. Relaxed immigration policies, one of Agnolia's main requests, which is unacceptable. No, it's not. It's definitely acceptable. Most of the migrants in our country haven't even assimilated. Fuck off, racist prick. I'm supportive of relaxed immigration. I really think the matter. I don't care what you think. You can rethink all you want. We should remember that we promised to keep our immigration laws relaxed in the election campaign. It's no more about Volksland. Our cousins Vold across the Markian Sea wish to have a good relationship with us. As we know, Volksland is a socialist republic aligned with United Contana. Nice. Let's be friends. It's the most significant sea power in Eastern Mercopa. We had hostile relations with them after several wars in the 19th century, which we wouldn't want to experience again. Recently, the relationship has warmed thanks to Emmerich Hegel. As a result, diplomatic talks can be conducted in the future. It's not easy to forget. Breaking the ice could be good if you are tries diplomatically. They could be potential allies. The situation in the region necessitates that we find allies. They haven't been in good relations with us for the past 200 years. Recently, they have also joined the Communist Content Security Pact. On top of that, territorial issues flare up between Agnolia and Volksland because of the Helyaland? Helyaland? Let's say Helyaland. The Swordfish Navy is very concerned with this volatile situation. Fortunately, billions of Swordfish Ren worth of cargo is transported close to Falklandian maritime borders on the Markian Sea and the Grey Strait. This causes significant risks to our imports and exports in the case of deterioration in relationships. Yes, but we are going to try to improve our relations with them. The strait is of high strategic value to us. Navy is keeping an eye on the situation from a distance. We are actively monitoring the sea routes and cargo ships. No immediate threat. We don't know what can happen in the future. What's the latest situation in Welland? Tumultuous in the south, as always, expanding his powers among protests from Western people. However, he is quite positive about normalization of relationships between our countries. Reports indicate that they have been warming up to content international aid. As you know, Welland's stability has always a concern for the region, but if we want to help them, we must not treat refugees like we did in the 30s. I still can't stomach the humanity of those people suffered. Trade agreement with them will improve stability and increase mutual trade. Faith enough. No more. Not sure what. Yeah, no, we want to make friends. Those motherfuckers are trying to invade us. We want to make friends. As much friends as possible. There will be many bargaining chips discussed, but Welland could be a new partner in the region. We would also invest in stability there. Yeah, there's several reasons why we would want to make friends with them. Like, if we can help them become a stable country, we no longer have a possible civil war on our southern border. Our main goal should be to avoid the refugee crisis. That civil war had major security and economic repercussions. Yeah, we should avoid this. And the way we avoid this is by helping them. It's by being their friends and fomenting trade and growth and all of that stuff. One of the demands was to tighten our immigration laws so the political refugees on his way to Sutherland, he can fuck off. There has been a recent purge that purged. Okay, maybe we don't want to be friends with him. Maybe you want. Maybe we want to, let's say, support the people who don't like him. It's been a recent purge. It's definitely troubling. Gumran Outpost has regained its importance. I'm sure you would remember that winter at the border. In fact, there had been a similar refugee situation in the past. Even Mr. President himself chose to disobey direct orders from his commanding officer at the time. Yes, I did. And you made me sleep in a prison cell for it. That's the point of disciplinary action. Prick. Our focus should be on current matters. The Polish minority is very large within Welland too, which is in fact a factor to consider. It's our national interest to prevent the formation of a failed state. Yes, we do not want a failed state, but we also can't tolerate repression of minorities. Welland has been increasingly aligned itself towards the Communist Alliance, another point to analyze. Let's move on. Two important neighboring countries remain, Lespia and Rumburg. Let's talk about Lespia. Our southern neighbor is aligning itself more and more with Arcasia. Lespia is currently led by Prime Minister Patricio Alvarez. Jewel of the continent, second largest economy. Wealthy, suffers from excessive economic inequality. Past relations have been great, but during the last decade their investments to Sutherland dwindled due to our instability. Lespia is a sleeping giant. We should not awaken. They keep turning a blind eye towards the region, thinking that Lespia is above it all. Lesbian mentality is influenced by a certain aura of heroism and specialism. Their moral compass is different from ours, so they're kind of like Americans. Certain that the recession has a lot to do with their attraction of investments. Once they see that money isn't in the picture, they vanish rather quickly because they are capitalists. Yes, the pigs. They have so much selfish attitude. Close their borders to refugees. So they're America basically. Except the other great power is America. Fuck if I know. It'll be hard to see eye to eye. Completely agree. For a long time benefited from us through our little tariffs. They are after exploitation. There are hundreds of very privileged oligarchs who invest inside and outside of Lespia. Some made significant business investments in the city of Benfi and Valgen. What about Rumburg? Now the most troublesome... Yeah, the motherfuckers want to invade us. Constitutional monarchy. I highly advise caution and calculated action against Rumburg. Our military must be prepared. The threat is real. I actually do agree with this guy. They're strong and have the motivation, as well as the means to damage us. We shouldn't give them any reasons to pursue aggression. Roguelike streak, nothing can be done about them. We must prevent them from interfering in our affairs. Okay, let's not do anything proactive for now. Let's take your advice into consideration. These types of nations will always try to make up a casus belli, a reason to declare war. While Thornburg openly denies such claims, their past and current actions make it clear that they want to destabilize us. Weapon caches found by our intelligence agency clearly shows that their goals are: our military must be steadfast, yada yada. It's one of our top priorities, you can be assured. Yeah, we shouldn't mess around with that. Always in dialogue with our Rumburg ambassador to make sure a channel is open to solve disputes. Could use their aggressive attitude against them by convincing the international community. Their abrupt announcement about the closure of the Rumburg Consulate in Lachhaven is yet another step in their escalation. Covers the overview of the current situation. We will move on to trade choice. Hello, Petter. It's been a while. The fuck were you? Hey there, folks. Excuse my delay. I'm sure I didn't miss anything we didn't already know. If you were still supposed to be part of this meeting, also on time. Punctuality is important. We are talking about serious subjects here. They have a point. Should I have discipline in the cabinet? Won't happen again. Better fucking not. Vice President will be part of the trade delegation, so it's great to have input on that subject, but also on the Rumburg Incident. There are two issues at hand. Which topic should we tackle first? We should address the diplomatic incident. Rumburg Consul Sir Bran Harrington announced the closure of the 120-year-old consulate. Now their diplomatic staff is leaving the city to go back to Thornburg. He blamed the lack of security in Starland due to the assassination and subsequent protests, but it's obvious that they are making excuses. First close the consulate, and then they blame our security. They are playing with us. Isn't it telling when other countries are working with us while Rumburg is just cutting more ties with us? Neglect of President Alfonso and the chaos of the elections delayed our diplomatic efforts. Yada yada yada. Two Rumburg diplomatic missions. We are accustomed to the usual rhetoric, but it's far more serious. This is far more serious. They're playing with fire. Look at what Welland the civilization has done to the region. Starland breaking apart would tear Maricopa apart. In the entire career, I have never seen our Rumburg relations suffer this much. Previous low point was the annexation of Dome. But I hated when people annex Dome. There are worrying developments like the smuggled arms and the build-up near the border. Our military must be buffed up to stand against a regional power. respond with a aggressive act of diplomatic condemnation, or retaliate by closing our consulate in Dome. We shouldn't close the consulate. Diplomatic condemnation sounds better. Don't say that escalation would be risky. We should focus on creating a negative image. People of Starland must be protected no matter the cost. I say we respond equally. Nope. We're gonna play the long game. We're gonna make them look bad and make people like us more than them. Because then they'll be more likely to ally with us in case we have to go to war. Wish you had reacted more strongly. Calm the fuck down, Joseph. We can't go to war with them. We need to play the long game. Should move on to new trade initiative. Prime goal would be to successfully sign a trade agreement with one of our smaller neighbors. Have two options with our trade initiative. Start new negotiations with our old partner and form a new cooperation with Wellen. Trade deal with Agnolia. Reason behind this option is more diplomatic than economic. We can't forego the added economic value. Old ally and a valuable trade partner. Steel trade, they are demanding that we buy their steel for a higher price. Why would I want to do this, though? Because they're our friends, fine. Sure, we'll give them more money. We think the deal's far too unbalanced as it is. The second main demand is privileged access to our agricultural market. If we are to fulfill our demands in return, they are offering a full alliance with Sorland. Ooh, this is good. I want this, yes, please. Current advances near our borders, having a coalition against Rumburg would prove extremely useful. There will be consequences for entering a full alliance. Mainly, the issue is around the Hedgie Islands. Valsgard has a clear intentions on taking them over. The island with one or other and entering a military alliance with Agnolia will make them furious. Yeah, we don't want to antagonize the guys who control our shipping lanes. That might not be a good idea. I want to state my support for the decision to stick to our old ally. Even though I disagree with the demand to relax immigration, we have cooperated with them on many issues in the past. Solid partner. Worked in the previous comprehensive trade agreement in the 30s. There are obviously subjects that we would still need to tackle, like our economies, the traded goods, and what to do with immigration. My opinion is that this is a good deal, and we should go for it. The Neo-Agnolian Prime Minister is trying to improve the existing relationship. Downside is that we would need to make concessions. Be open to creating a new agreement that will satisfy all sides. If you decide that Agnolia is a good option, another point is that they have a very democratic system. After the recent elections of the PM, has a mandate to arrange a fairer deal with us. Also is an avid supporter of relaxed immigration. Since we said we'll keep immigration relaxed, it will help us. Starting the highway construction in England plays a part too. Regardless, if we are going to increase our regional influence to previous levels, we might need to make amends with our neighbors. Decision will be up to you as always. Tell me about the trade deal with Wellen. And can we only do one trade deal? Dealing with a fractured country has its positives and negatives. Although it will be lucrative in short term, there are risks associated with dealing with such a country. They are proposing co-investment projects and a no-tariff agreement. They are also offering oil in return to attracting foreign capital. It's possible that there will be international ramifications. I don't really want to get close with the government of Wellen. Lucrative deal for us. We need to think about the consequences. Certainly don't support decisions to become friendlier with Wellen. Carried their burdens for decades. Their migrants flooded our country. Oh, fuck off. Maintaining influence with Wellen could prove useful. It's risky, but we're about our influence with an underdeveloped region like that. We could also sell more products and they're marketed easily. But the opinion that it is simply too risky, yeah, doesn't sound like a good idea. We shouldn't really be making a quick buck by supporting their regime. It's risky. If we wish to go forward with the deal, then the time comes. It's a topic of immigration to consider. Non-isolationist, our promise to keep our immigration policy relaxed will not help at all. He blames us for bringing Western interests to the region. He also doesn't want his political opponents to flee here. Personally, don't like the idea of getting too close to Welland. We should give it a try. Our campaign promised to steer Sutherland towards east, and United Contana will have an effect on the negotiations, especially with Welland. As you know, the current affairs of Welland are partly a result of United Contana's support of Victor Smolak. Our promise will come in handy. As for Agnolia, this promise had made them cautious, which might take it harder to get a good deal. We also need to consider the effects of our economic doctrine plan. The fact that we are headed towards a planned economy will have an influence. Good negotiators optimize the interests, which make the differences become trivial, along with both sides to reach a deal. With a lot of time to prepare, I believe this gives a brief overview of our current options. Trade delegation will begin work towards the end of the year. We expect the final negotiation and the signing of the treaty to happen next year. Very much looking forward to visiting Stalport and Vraklavitz with party animals like David and Simon. Fuck. Better. You have a. I think you have a problem. You need to drink less. We're running this country now. We need to be competent. That concludes our meeting. Thank you all for coming. Okay, what else do we need to do? There's more news. Let's check what they're saying about me in the papers. Emergency, mayor announces. State of chaos. More than 20 police officers heavily wounded. Afraid of hope, but our songs will be sung. Unified message to all of Swordland. This is good. President Rain's last farewell to Bernard Circus. Welfare issues of Narbel. More unrest. Fantastic. We need democracy. Unemployment and checks. Swordland condemns closure. Okay. But that's gonna leave us here for this episode. It was a bit of a dialogue heavy one. Not a lot of decisions that will make. I don't think that will make. Not a lot of important decisions, let's say, that we had to make today. We'll see what we have in store for us on the next episode, which will be the Reform Committee. There might be some more spicy things to do there. As always, I have been Pope. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that make the algorithm happy, and I will see you all next time.